Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today's video is on completing the square. This is based on the work of the legend Al-Khwarizmi. Let's get started. To find the area of a square, we multiply its sides by itself. So a side length times another side length gives you the area of a square. Suppose we have a square with side length x plus 3. So to find the area of this square, we would multiply x plus 3 by itself. So this x plus 3 times x plus 3. This can also be written as x plus 3 whole squared. Now I am going to expand this bracket. First I'll start off with x times x, which gives me x squared. Then I'm going to multiply x times 3, which gives me 3x. Then I'm going to multiply 3 times x, which gives me another 3x. And finally multiply 3 times 3, which gives me 9. I can simplify this on the next line as x squared plus 6x plus 9. I'm going to represent this line over here on the diagram over here. So I'm going to do that first by drawing these lines in here. Okay. So firstly, this x squared, that part is over here. So x times x. And 3x is here. 3 times x. The other 3x is here. 3 times x. And then we have the final area, the square of 9, which is 3 by 3 square. Okay, I'm going to use this to understand the concept of completing the square. So every expression doesn't represent the area of a square. So when we're completing the square for an expression, we are writing it in terms of the area of a complete square. And this is the area of a complete square, x squared plus 6x plus 9. So I'm going to use an example to demonstrate this. So suppose we have an expression x squared. Let me write it in a different color. Let's choose blue. Okay, suppose we have an expression x squared plus 6x minus 7. So I want to write this in terms of the area of a square. So to start off, I'm just going to concentrate on the x squared plus 6x. And I'm going to draw a diagram for x squared plus 6x. Okay, so I'm going to do this on the right, so because I have a lot of space on the right. So I'm going to have a square for x squared. So x times x gives me x squared. So that represents the area of a square. And for 6x, I'll have a rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6. There we go. Okay. So that's x squared, and that's 6x. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this 6x into 2 parts, 2 equal parts. So my diagram will now look a little bit like this. So I still have my x squared here. That's not going to move. And when I split the 6x into 2 equal parts, each part will become 3x. So put that right next to each other over here. 3x over here. And then the other 3x over here. So this is what my diagram will look like now. So this one's x squared, that's 3x, that's 3x. This part here is 3. This part here is x. This part here is x. This part here is 3. Can you see this gap over here? That gap represents an area of a square with an area of 9. How do I get the 9? It's 3 times 3. This 3 times that 3 gives me 9. But this bit here, x squared plus 6x, is represented by just this L shape over here. Correct? So I'm going to write this in terms of the area of the full square. Now the area of this full square would be x plus 3 whole squared, because that's exactly the same as the square we looked at the start. This one here. That's what our square looked like. That's exactly the same. So we say, hang on, x plus 3 whole squared. But in order to get this L shape, I need to get rid of the square over here. And that square has an area of 9. So I subtract 9 from it. And this part remains as it was, minus 7. Now, when I simplify this further, I get x plus 3 whole squared minus 16. And there we go, we have completed the square. What does this mean? Well, if I was to subtract 16 from the area of this square, x plus 3 whole squared, I should get this expression. Let's test that on the side. So x plus 3 whole squared minus 16. Let's test this out. X plus 3 whole squared was x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 16, and 9 minus 16 can simplify to give you x squared plus 6x minus 7. And this is the same as our expression here. Okay, this is the first part on completing the square. And we're going to try and have a couple more videos on this to further explain it and look at different scenarios, and then we will look at how to solve equations using it. We'll look at how to find the turning point of a graph using it, and we'll look at how to use it to sketch quadratic curves. So hopefully this video helped with your learning. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.